We are going to discuss de Broglie hypothesis. De Broglie hypothesis mainly talks about dual nature of particles. So already we are well known with light exhibit dual nature. That means light has a particle nature and light has wave nature. So already we studied in your earlier classes here. Now what the de Broglie hypothesis talks about is, so we are known particles like electrons, nucleus, protons, neutrons, etc. Atoms, molecules, so all these are particles. We are known about this. So what the de Broglie talks about, so yeah, all these are particles, they possess particle nature. Since these are all particles, they possess particle nature. Along with particle nature, these all particles also exhibit wave nature. What is the view of de Broglie is, so in nature, every particle possesses both particle nature and wave nature. By nature, all these are particles. Similarly, by nature, these particles also possess. So, what the de Broglie's main concept is, every particle possesses dual nature. So that means the particle nature is associated with each particle as they are particles. Similarly, a wave nature is also associated with these particles. So in this session we are going to discuss the wave nature and particle nature of the particles. Now how this dual nature of the particle helps in order to understand the properties of the materials and the nature of elementary particles like neutrons, protons, nucleus and electrons. The main view of de Broglie's hypothesis, so in order to understand the properties of the materials, we need to understand the behavior of the particles like electrons, nucleus and protons and neutrons. So in order to understand the nature of these particles, so some hypothesis has made that hypothesis that every particle possesses particle nature and wave nature. Now, what is de Broglie hypothesis? So already we discussed that every material particle like electron, proton, neutron, nucleus, atoms and molecules, all these are material particles. They possess dual nature. Every material particle possesses dual nature. So dual nature means they possess particle nature, they possess wave nature. That means according to de Broglie hypothesis, every material particle possesses a wave nature. And so since they possess wave nature, a wave is associated with each particle. So that wave is called matter wave. So a wave associated with moving particle is called matter wave or de Broglie wave. So the wave associated with moving particle is called matter wave or de Broglie wave. So this is matter wave. Okay, and now we know that the characteristics of wave. So what are the characteristics of wave? A wave should possess amplitude, wavelength and frequency and so on. So since it is a wave, this wave possesses wavelength. So the wavelength of matter wave is called de Broglie wavelength. de Broglie wavelength. Okay, now the question is, when the particle exhibit wave nature. So as per de Broglie's, every metal particle possesses wave nature. Now the question is, when the particle possesses or exhibit wave nature. So when the particle is under motion, the particle is under motion, then it possesses wave nature. So that means the particle possesses wave nature when it is under motion. That means the particle has some velocity. So then the particle exhibit wave nature. If the particle is at rest, it exhibit particle nature. So when the electron is revolving around the nucleus, the electron exhibit wave nature. When the atom is vibrating, or molecules or ions which are vibrating, when they are vibrating, they are under motion. So they possess some velocity. So they exhibit wave nature. Okay. So whenever the particle is under the motion, then it possesses wave nature. So this is about de Broglie's hypothesis. So every material particle possesses dual nature, that is particle nature and wave nature. The wave associated with the moving particle is called matter wave or de Broglie's wave. The wavelength of the matter wave is called de Broglie wavelength. The particle exhibit wave nature or possess wave nature when the particle is under motion. Here we are going to derive expression for de Broglie wavelength. So we know that according to de Broglie hypothesis, every material particle possesses particle nature and wave nature, and the wave associated with the particle is called de Broglie wavelength. Wave associated with the particle is called de Broglie's wave or matter wave, and the wavelength associated with the matter wave is called de Broglie wavelength. Now in order to derive expression for de Broglie wavelength, now we are assuming a photon. Good. So we know that the energy of the photon can be given by two theories. One is according to Einstein mass energy relation, the energy of the photon can be given as E is equal to mc square. E is equal to mc square. Name this as equation 1. And from Planck's quantum theorem, so the energy of the photon can be given as E is equal to h nu. So nu is known as frequency of the photon. So in terms of wavelength, the energy can be given as E is equal to hc by lambda. So if you see equation 1 and 2 both represents energy of the photon. So from equation 1 and 2 we have hc by lambda is equal to mc square. So getting c cancelled here, we get the wavelength of photon can be given as lambda is equal to h by mc. So name this as equation number 3. So equation 3 represents the wavelength of photon. So we know that photon can be considered as a particle as well as wave, because according to electromagnetic radiation we know that light has both particle nature and wave nature. That means photon exhibit particle nature as well as wave nature. Since the photon can be considered as particle, so here the m represents mass of the photon, c represents velocity of the photon. Since the photon have dual nature and this is the wavelength of the photon. Similarly, so according to de Broglie hypothesis, we are considering a particle which has dual nature. So the particle what we are considering also has dual nature. So therefore the equation 3 can be extended to the de Broglie wavelength of the particle. So this idea of equation 3 can also be extended to the particles which exhibit dual nature. So let us consider a particle having mass m, moving with velocity v. So extending the idea of equation 3 to the particle, so the de Broglie wavelength of the particle can be given as, the de Broglie wavelength of the particle can be given as lambda is equal to h by mv, where the lambda represents de Broglie wavelength of the particle, h represents Planck's constant, m mass of the particle, v velocity of the particle. So equation 4 represents the de Broglie wavelength of the particle. So the de Broglie wavelength lambda can be given as lambda is equal to h by mv. So this lambda represents de Broglie wavelength of the particle, h represents Planck's constant, m represents mass of the particle, and v represents velocity of the particle. Now if you see this de Broglie wavelength of the particle can be right in terms of momentum and in terms of kinetic energy and in terms of applied potential. So if you see de Broglie wavelength in terms of momentum, it can be given as, so we know that the product of mass and velocity represents momentum. So therefore in terms of momentum, de Broglie wavelength can be given as lambda is equal to h by p. This is one form of de Broglie wavelength in terms of momentum. Now if you see in terms of kinetic energy, in terms of kinetic energy, and this kinetic energy is represented by a letter k dot e dot. So in terms of kinetic energy, de Broglie wavelength can be given as lambda is equal to h by square root of 2 into m into kinetic energy. So this is one form of de Broglie wavelength in terms of kinetic energy. So we know that kinetic energy can be given as half m v square. So here multiplying divided with m, we get m square v square by 2m. So product of mass and velocity can be given as momentum. So here can be given as p square by 2m. From here the momentum can be given as p is equal to square root of 2m into kinetic energy. So replacing momentum in with the kinetic energy, the p can be given as square root of 2m into kinetic energy in terms of potential. So the capital V represents the potential applied to the particles. So we know that kinetic energy, you know that if you consider these particles are electrons, suppose you take a metal here. So metal contains free electrons. When you apply electric field with a voltage capital V volts, so due to applied electric field, the charged particles will increases the kinetic energy. So as external electric field of potential difference capital V is applied, the kinetic energy of the particles will change with respect to the applied potential. So that the kinetic energy of the particles can be given as the product of potential and charge of the particle. So therefore replacing the kinetic energy in this formula, so the de Broglie wavelength of the particle can be given as lambda is equal to h by square root of 2m vq. And this is de Broglie wavelength in terms of applied potential. So we have de Broglie wavelength expression in terms of velocity of the particle. The small v represents velocity of particle. De Broglie wavelength in terms of momentum. de Broglie wavelength in terms of kinetic energy, de Broglie wavelength in terms of applied potential. This capital V represents applied potential. This small v represents velocity and capital V represents potential.